Yo, what's up, guys? It's Brad. Hope you guys are having a good day. And I feel super vindicated about this idea, especially recently. I remember, growing up as a kid, my parents like brought me to all these doctors and stuff like that. They would tell me that I had ADD and ADHD and NVLD, and they put all these fucking stupid labels on me. And I'd have these old fat, disgusting doctors with bad breath and rotting teeth tell me that I had nonverbal learning disorder, and I'd be like, "Bitch, you got rotting teeth. Since when can you tell me about how to focus? You can't even brush your damn teeth." Um, and here's what I think about ADD. All these. Think about that word, nonverbal learning disorder. That doesn't make any fucking sense. They told me I had that when I was pretty good at baseball and golf and building computers and doing all these things non-verbally. So that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm also pretty good at guitar. I'm pretty good at typing, pretty good at doing things non-verbally. So that didn't make sense. Attention deficit disorder. Well, I'm pretty much focused in on whatever I want to focus in on. Like if I want to focus on something for a long time, I actually would just focus in on what I loved and what I was passionate about at the time. And it turns out that I'm not interested in having some fat lesbian teach me about um, Christopher Columbus's pubic hair color. Okay? I mean, I was just like, yeah, cool. Like, I don't really care, dude. Like, I just, like, I didn't care. And I also just didn't like, how they were, like, treating me and stuff and, like, how they treated people. I was just like, you know, talk about focusing in on something. I was focused in on like, how are these people acting? How are these teachers acting? Are these people that I want to follow? Do they display good positive forms of leadership? No, they don't. And so I would focus in on something else, or I would just lead and I would do something that I was interested in. I would get very, very fascinated and obsessed with things like guitar, and that's why I'm pretty fucking good at guitar, and that's why I'm pretty good, fucking good at I knew a lot about computers and modifying them. I knew a lot about just different things. I just wasn't interested in what they wanted to tell me to be interested in because I didn't see a point in it. And frankly, now that I'm older and we're all seeing what's going on in school, the types of shit they're teaching them. I saw a video yesterday of some black teacher literally making 3-year-old kids sing brown girl, what are you doing?" or whatever the fuck it was. It was clearly some indoctrination shit that has nothing to do with making black kids feel included, but rather to I mean, just it's always some weird shit. It's always the next thing. It's going to be like, "Boy with a penis, cut off your penis, make it into a vagina, and be transgender." Like they're going to make the kids sing that next. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm not interested in that, dude. Like, maybe I'm interested in computers or I'm interested in, drawing or painting or fighting or something or some skill, you know, because again, like, so many of the things you learn in school are just totally non transferable to the real world. They have nothing to do with it. Back in the day, when you wanted to learn a skill, you would go and apprentice with somebody and live with them. You wanted to learn to build guns or be a blacksmith or learn a farm, you'd go live on the fucking farm. You wouldn't go and listen to some academic, always like some fat liberal slob that's like looks like Michael Moore. And they lecture you about things that have nothing to do with the subject you're learning from. They'd be like, "Yes, 2 plus 2 is 4 in Trump's world." Fucking Trump. I remember like literally walking out of classes or transferring classes in like the few semesters of college I went to. I was just like, this is absolute bullshit. And then I would go to a doctor, and the doctor would be like, "Well, you have ADHD. You need to just take Ritalin and Adderall so that you can get super into it." And I would do it, and I'd sit there in the class, and I'd be like, "I'm gonna fucking crush this shit," and I'd just like go and crush it on stimulants. But it just wasn't anything I was in love with or interested in. In fact, I see kids now. There was like I was looking at a dating profile of a girl that literally said she went to Harvard, and she's like, "Don't message me if you support anything of this fascist Republican regime." I'm like, this bitch went to Harvard, and she's calling Donald Trump a fascist. These people are supposed to be smart and do shit like scientific proofs. They don't do any of that shit. They just use it as a cudgel to be like, I went to Harvard and I'm telling you that Trump is a fascist. I'm like, well, that's great. You must have had some great SAT scores and no math and no English. So clearly you know some things and you're intelligent. But clearly you are either like something's going on with you. You've got the virus. You've got the Trump derangement syndrome virus. I just don't know, man. The whole ADHD thing, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think what it is you don't have parents parenting their kids. You've got women that are being told, go to work for a little while, feel like you're a career woman, suck Tyrone's dick in the bathroom, cheat on your husband, then break up with your husband, get paid alimony and child support, continue fucking Chad and Tyrone in the bathroom and Brett, and then just go and like get old and get a bunch of cats and torture your kid for your whole life and forcibly inoculate them and put masks on them. I don't even know. Like, I really don't know, man. All I'll say is that if anything, in 2020, I've been very vindicated about a lot of things. And ADD and ADHD, I just don't buy it. Like, I don't buy it at all. I can sit there and focus in on one thing for a long time. And I've done that many, many times. I just have to be interested in it. I have to be passionate about it. I have to feel like it has a purpose behind it. And I can exert willpower to do things that I don't want to do either. I think we all have that ability. I think that there's a concern. Frankly, I'm very just disenchanted with psychology, and I'm very disenchanted with these labels that we put on kids. Oh, you have ADHD. No, I think that you're just teaching them wrong. It's like you're shifting the blame onto the kid because your system sucks, okay? Like, I don't know about you, but why are you taking a kid that's like 3 years old, sitting him in a fucking chair and then just sit still, and then he's squirming and he's just like, oh, I hate this. Yeah, because you're taking a little bundle of energy and potential and sitting in a fucking chair with a fucking desk, and you have to listen to some old passionless miserable fuck talk about the same thing he's talked about for years. He doesn't even care. On my right hand I can count the amount of good teachers I've had, and you know what, they were all conservative men. Shout out Mr. Grace, best teacher I ever fucking had, dude. I that guy, I honestly like get emotional when I talk about him because he actually cared. He actually like gave a damn. He would talk to you after class, and he just gave a damn. He was Air Force, he was military guy, like awesome dude. Mr. Mater, Bill Mater, both, not coincidence, they were both in shape. Mr. Kiernan. I had a couple of professors in college that were cool, like, there was a Peter, whatever his name was. He taught the jazz band there. He really took the time, and he actually knew some chords and stuff like that. And he taught me about, like, he just took the time to actually teach me, and he actually cared, and he enjoyed it, and he actually was sort of passionate about it. But I'm going to be honest with you, there weren't a lot of there was one good, there were a couple good female teachers. I had one, Miss Jones, in third grade or fourth grade, I'd say, fourth grade. She was passionate, and she was just like a nerdy teacher, but she was passionate about what she was teaching, and she really thought she made an impact. She wasn't just going there to get a fucking paycheck and be like, oh, I'm a teacher, I shape the minds of the youth, and walk around like she's something special. No, like, she actually cared. Miss Halkias in 5th grade because she was hot, and she was like pretty hot, you know. But like most of my experience with the teachers I encountered, literally like 98% of them were just, they were authoritative losers, like nobodies. They're like liberals. They're just literally just authoritative, abusive nobodies that got off on like dampening the will and spirit of children. And they would be like, "Oh, you've got ADD. You need to sit down and do this." I'm like, maybe you just suck at your job. You know, maybe you just suck at your job. Like I'll just be honest with you. I did really pretty fucking well on my SATs. I got what was it, like 1250 out of 1400 or something like that, or like 19. I did really fucking well on the SATs. No studying. I was in AP physics for a little while. Couldn't handle the workload. I was in advanced math. I was a good writer. You know, like I'm actually pretty intelligent, just naturally, just have that brain for some of this stuff. So I excelled in certain ways by like, even with not doing the work or being engaged. But they'd be telling me, and plus my home life, that was when things really went downhill. To be honest with you, is when my home life was just went to absolute shit, like just a nightmare. But I just think like attention deficit disorder, you're paying attention to something at any given moment of time. You're always paying attention. You're focused in on something. A good teacher will know how to shape and influence your focus and show you the importance of focusing on one thing for a long period of time. Like you see how I'm making videos. My focus is, I mean, I simply just put myself in a position to where my business is going to do well. I put myself in a position where I'm going to make an impact, and it happens. And then the focus, it's there because I put myself in that position, and I understand that, and I've been doing it a long time. So even in this chaos that I've had to literally escape New York and the coronavirus and the censorship and all this shit that I've gone through, I can still focus and make money. I can still focus and get my message out. I've had hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds or thousands of people tell me, "Dude, thank you for those videos. Thank you for that article. And now I'm rebuilding, and I'm going to make it more secure so that nobody can take it away from me this time." So I have focus. If you want to tell me I have attention deficit disorder, those words don't make sense. There's always, attention is always on something. It just might not be on what you know it is. It's not what they want your attention to be on. You know, they want you to be calm and placid and a good little bitch so they can just shape you however they want. But dude, that's not your purpose on this earth. Your purpose on the earth is to totally unleash your soul and leave it all out there on the playing field and just go 100%. That's your fucking purpose, man. That's my purpose. So, you know, if that means that I'm doing 50 different things and I'm talking about things that I'm interested and passionate in, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. And sometimes I'm hyper focused on one thing and I understand principles of, you know, you put your energy in 5 different directions, you get 5, you're distributing your energy across these dimensions. But if you just do one in one direction, you're getting one long, one big thing because you're adding all those five things up, and you get this much progress in today versus this much progress in these 5 directions. I understand all those things. I've taken trainings and I've done the work on those things. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do both. Google hires people with a horizon, an L-shaped, I think it's actually, no, excuse me, it's a T-shaped skill set where they have a wide base of understandings. They can communicate with engineers and marketers, you know, and legal and the CEOs and the C-suite executives. But then they have one thing they do really well. Maybe they're a great salesperson, or they're a great content creator, or they're a great leader, or they're a great manager, or whatever. They have that one thing they're really good at, but then they have a T-shaped thing of understanding. And frankly, there are people out there, there's plenty, that are just very one-dimensional. They just have one thing they do well. And that's great. I mean, that's great. Maybe that's not me. Maybe that's not you. If that's you, there's a place for you in this world. I think that there's a place for everyone's talent in this world. Everyone has a gift that they can give. But I just don't agree with this idea that you have a label that's put on you, attention, and those words don't make sense. They don't make sense. It's a not only not make sense, it's so vague. It was designed to be vague. It's a marketing strategy where they can put it on anybody and use it to blanket, like put like a straight jacket or a weighted blanket on those kids and say, you have ADD, we're going to give you drugs now, and you're going to sit there and you're going to be controlled so that the system can operate better because you need to be controlled. Now, I just don't fucking agree with that, man. I mean, if we're talking about the military where you're voluntarily, you know, or, like you're in the military, like you need to learn this shit. There's a pipeline for it. It might be inefficient. I've never been in, so I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of places where it's totally fucked up, and I've heard that. Probably definitely is, but you know, you have a responsibility to your unit. You have a responsibility. You need to learn how to fight because you're going to war. You have to support the system. You have a real job. But with school, it's not like that. With school, it's actually, I mean, it's similar in the military where they're using your body to go and fight a war to make money for other people. In school, I guess it's kind of the same thing. They're using your body to funnel you into a college where you're going to go into debt. You're then going to, you know, the school also gets massive stipends and grants from the government. It's absurd. And so the school's like, you know, rich as fuck, and they're teaching you absolute nonsense for the most part. You can choose things that are valuable. Frankly, if you want to learn some valuable skills, go and volunteer on an ambulance for free. Go and, you know, make some friends with some veterans and go shooting. Go learn how to farm. Go run a business, start a business, just learn how to do it. Take trainings with me, take trainings with Grant Cardone, take trainings with Gary Vee, go read business books. I mean, frankly, the best education I've ever got has been stuff that I've done on my own, and it's been books I've read on my own. And I'll be honest with you, I know a lot more, like the conversations I have with many medical, and again, I'm not trying to generalize here, but I'd say that most people don't read, they don't educate themselves, they go home and they watch TV and they just they gossip and they do this stuff that's not me, dude. Like I'm always reading. In 1 year I read like 200 books. I wrote 2 books. I still need to finish them. I just didn't feel like good enough about them to put them out. Just confidence issue. I write blog articles. Like I've been running businesses. I do sales. I do marketing. I do internet marketing. I do run the WordPress site. This is all stuff that I just did, and I learned how to do it. And that's the type of education that really matters. You learning lesbian dance theory or about, you know, how like black booty is the most prized possession in the world, and even by me saying those words with the B and the black and the booty looks like 2 black butts, and you need to pay 10 cents on the dollar to every black person you see on the street because of that as reparations. That doesn't make any sense, okay, Jeff? Like, you can go fuck your mother with that, okay? I'm not paying 10 cents on the dollar for saying black booty. I fuck chicks with big black booties. I don't fucking pay them shit unless they're in my... You get what I'm saying? Like, just go fuck yourself, all right? It's a joke. It's a joke. Many liberals don't even know that. They're like, oh my God, I'm calling my senator. I'm like, call your senator, all right? I've got a gun, bitch. Come do it. Even if you don't want to do the guns, let's do the guns. Let's just fucking fight. I hate these fucking people, dude. I hate them. And I really think that this whole thing, the psychiatry, the influence, the occultist black magic of telling kids they have fucking ADD. I used to hate that. My dad would come into the car with me every weekend and say, you got a problem with focus. Next week, you have NVLD. You have ADD. You have ADHD. You have, you're autistic. They never said that to me except behind my back. I'd find out they'd tell people, you're autistic. He's autistic. And I was always like, yeah, if I'm autistic, then what the fuck are you? What's your fucking excuse then, guy and girl. If I'm autistic, what are you? I mean, shit. I mean, I'm not even going to go into it, but like the things you've done compared to the things that I've done when you had me at 38 years old, 36 years old, respectively, both of them. Who the fuck are you to tell me that I'm autistic, okay? You've got literally almost 40 years on me and you're acting like this. Grow up. It's a method of control. It's something that, like, we've just honestly been taken over by weak people. Like, the society, like, how they say, like, hard times make strong men, and then they say that, like, easy times make soft men, and then soft men make hard times. We're in this period where it's just like good times have made soft men out of the ruling class. We've allowed tyrant morons to take over our world, and they're putting kids on hardcore stimulants and antipsychotic medication, just like, and then they turn around and they go and they get drunk and they're just, man, I hate the left. I just hate them. I hate all of them, and they're just the worst people in the world. They're the ones that probably came up with this shit. I mean, honestly, like, any hardworking conservative person would just be like, dude, just like get up, make your bed, put on your shoes, do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, drink a glass of water with lemon, take your multivitamin, get out, go for a run, get up, get back, take a shower, shave, put everything on, write down your goals for the day, maybe do some meditation to calm your mind down, um, have a cup of coffee, fast, get to work on time, get to work 15 minutes early, greet the boss, debrief with him, say, hey, how can I help you more? How can I add some more value to this organization? I'm really fired up. Here's some research I did last night on our competition. This is what I'm going to do today. This is what I think I could do better today. Let me know how else I can help you, boss. Hope you're having a great day. Here's a cup of coffee I brought you on the way. Get to work, fucking grind it out, get results beyond what you promised, and then get back home, work out, work on your own business, go be social, go meet up with friends, have a drink at the bar, or don't drink. Actually, would be a better suggestion. Go for a run or play golf or go to play baseball or something with friends. Go out, meet girls, because right now girls, the whole girl thing, like, they're not very loyal. So, like, you probably like want to just like go date around, like have fun with girls, and make sure that your looks maxing and you're looking your best, and rinse and repeat, and you'll get better every day. Read a book, produce some content, produce something, grow your business. Like, that's really the best advice. Honestly, it's what I try to do every day. I fuck up a lot, and a lot of wrenches have been thrown, honestly, in my way. A lot, family wise, business wise. But, like, that's the advice that they need. And frankly, I think kids as young as 5 could be doing that. Not obviously, like, the smaller version of that, like, maybe doing some push-ups and, making a healthy meal, helping mom out in the house, helping dad, get you clean the dad's car or something, like being a productive member of society. That's the way that it should be. It should not be this, like, weird government thing. Like, we can govern our children and not govern them, but help them, empower the people a lot more than the fucking government and psychiatrists can. My experience in psychiatrists has been, I mean, it's been pathetic. They're more of like a very shitty coach than anything, and very often they're really bad coaches. Frankly, I would say this, like, just take advice from people who you admire certain aspects of what they do. Like, you don't need to admire everything about someone, but look to people who you respect in in some ways or whatever. Like, get a piece of advice from them, hire them for a bit, and like get some advice from them, get some other advice from other people, like do your own research, go out and execute. And that's it. But like these psychiatrists, man, honestly, like my experience with them has been just pathetic. I mean, just pathetic. Like, frankly, and I've been seeing therapists for like a long time because my parents put me in with them, and then I went back thinking it would help. Frankly, the best thing to do is to get a coach who has some shit figured out that you don't have figured out, and he can help guide you through because he's been there, you know. And frankly, it's my job as a coach to like go there first so that I can help you guys out even more, you know. And I'm always like feeling insecure about like, oh, where am I at, like am I as good as I could be? I'm never as good as I could be, you know. I'm always looking at others and I'm like, wow, he's doing this better than me and he's doing this better than me, and I need to get there and I need to win and dominate. And that's my whole thing. So, you know, that's my shtick and my appeal. So if you want to hire me, that's sort of where I'm at. You could just examine my body of work and see what you think about it. And keep in mind also, a lot of it has pretty actually all of it for the most part, except for the latest stuff, has been deleted. All I can share with you now is my energy, my vibe, the stories I tell, the way I articulate things, the writing on my site, the you can see the body of my work, and I need to start like going bigger, honestly, in the next year, and I will. And that's about it. So, yeah, man, that ADD and the fucking envy, all these labels they put on people, just nonsense, absolute nonsense. You don't have ADD, you don't have ADHD. You ADHD, the upgraded version. It's kind of actually what it is. Pretty hilarious. Good marketing. Probably hired some fucking copywriter like Dan Kennedy or some shit to like fucking Dan Meredith to fucking write that shit. Who else? Who was I talking to this morning? Mitch Miller probably wrote that shit. ADHD. It's high definition. Whoa, the child's a problem. In 2000K. I don't know, man. It's just so fucked up. We live in a crazy world, man. But you can break free. I did. I personally just like had my home life was just so shit, honestly. Like that was really what it was. You know, school, I actually was doing like okay. I was like maybe a C student in school. But then when my home life went to shit, I just was like I was just getting abused, dude. Like I was getting hurt at home and I'm like I don't know. I just like had a psychic like fucking breakdown. I'm like, dude, fuck this, fuck them. Like, I wish someone would actually give a damn about me. Like, this sucks. And yeah, I just like lost it. And I basically what I did was I just said, I'm leaving. I'm out. I don't need this shit. I'm gonna go get a job and I'm gonna be independent. I don't need this shit. And I just like did it all my own way. I didn't want a job at some corporate office, which came later, and I realized, wow, I never want to do this again. At least at that particular job, my dad actually gave me a job, and it was just horrible. It was just awful. It just sucked so bad. I guess there's worse ones there could have been in a mine. I know, but it was just like, yeah, I don't know. It was just really awkward and uncomfortable and shit. And when I was young, I used to like wash dishes and stock shelves and carry golf bags and you know, watch kids at the camp thing. And you know, I try to work hard and I try to do my thing there. And you know, I actually preferred those jobs, like that job there. And I've worked in offices since then. I was actually director of marketing of a really successful startup, Strategic Coin. We had like I believe we had an exit. We got bought out, made millions of dollars in the first few months. Had big contracts from ICO people that were trying to do an independent coin launch. You know, and remember that whole cryptocurrency boom in like what was it, the winter of 2017, where you know in January Bitcoin hit 20,000. Yeah, well, Strategic Coin was a big part of that. You know, you still go see the site. I didn't personally build the site. But I did it like you know the content curation. I did the marketing. I did the advertising campaigns. I was, you know, facilitating you know some of the decisions that we're making with how we would project our image. There was a bunch of stuff of what I did there. Really proud of that work, and that was cool. It was super tough. I was working for like some hedge fund guy who was just just the biggest beast work ethic ever. It's really hard, and it was cool. I mean, I did it. I made it through that. You know, I survived that, and that was cool. I forget the point of all this, but I'm just saying, like, you can break free, and you don't have to play by their rules, and don't put up with this ADD shit. It's not true. All right, peace, guys.